On Telstra Business tomorrow, IT giant Dell Computing brings its Y2K expertise down under and a homegrown research system that gets inside your head to find out what you want and need. Join me tomorrow on TV1 for Telstra Business, your business advantage.
Then on breakfast from 7 o'clock, if you think that age matters when it comes to sport, you will need to think again. We're going to show you how the elderly are excelling.
And check this out, we test Mike in the kitchen. We'll see you tomorrow. His critics call him a lefty, a conspiracy theorist, a naive idealist. But for years, he's been an alternative point of view to people in high places. His latest book, Secrets and Lies, was published this week. It claims the state-owned enterprise Timberlands used a PR company to run its own political campaign. Agree with him or not, Nikki Hagar is a committed activist, and he's our person of the week.
I think the issues which are raised in it, which are about how the politics works in the country and why the public feels left out, and how much secrecy has become part of the workings of our bad government. I really hope those things get debated. 1, 2, 3, 4, we don't want the nuclear war. The first campaigning things I had in my life for many years was the nuclear-free campaign. And so I had the experience of watching an issue go from being marginal and conspiracy theorists and wacky through to being national government policy. And I saw the power that the public can have when it does. What we have seen in New Zealand is that people are tuning out of political debate. I believe we are going through a dark age where a particular style of politics has alienated the public and really threatens having a democratic society. It's as basic as that. My father had a shirt factory, certainly not openly left-wing people or anything like that, but I grew up in a household where people talked about what was on the TV news or whatever, were critical of what was on the news, talked about issues, and I'm very grateful for that. It's made me who I am. I regard myself as an independent person and don't want to be part of anyone's faith, really.
So you'd never stand for a political party?
I once did.
You did once?
In my very junior youth, I once stood for the Values Party.
Let's preserve the good things we still have. People are more important than progress.
It was an experience which pretty thoroughly put me off parties, and I will never belong to a party again. I've got a different role. I live on a tiny fraction of what most people earn. I earn probably most years less than $10,000. I built my own house. I don't have a car, and it gives me the freedom to do the things which I think need to be done, and I think I'm very happy with my choice.
And you never get tempted by, you know, the material things that other people have?
I look at the jobs which other people have, and I'm very happy.
The hole in the Turkish earthquake continues to grow, with over 11,000 now confirmed dead. But the rescuers are still finding survivors in the rubble. Today, a 10-year-old girl was pulled clear. And there's some growing storm over the country's building codes. It's been claimed many builders have taken shortcuts in construction, and as a result, the buildings collapsed during the country's devastating earthquake. New Zealand First Leader Winston Peters is making political mileage out of Friday's High Court decision on the Winebox affair. Today, he threw down a challenge to Inland Revenue to recoup millions of dollars of back taxes he says big corporates owe. But he doesn't intend to carry out his own private prosecution.
Look, it's cost me 6 figures already to win this case. Are you suggesting I should go out and find tens of thousands of dollars again to do what the public servants should be doing? The answer to that is simply, if they do not do their job, then they will be removed from their jobs.
A big boost for New Zealand's thoroughbred industry. An American stallion called Anzian was shown off for the first time today before an enthusiastic crowd at Karaka. As yet unproven, he'll stand for $7,000, but that's cheap compared to his brother, whose fees are $150,000. Anzian is expected to produce top juvenile performers. Finally tonight, the smell of burnt rubber and petrol fumes stirred the memories of crowds of people in Levin this weekend. They were all drawn by an exhibition of cars and motorcycles which once competed at the Levin motor racing track. It's been closed for 23 years, but never forgotten.
And here's a saloon car race.
The Levin Motor Racing Circuit, where souped-up saloons, motorbikes, or the latest in sports cars could burn rubber. It started life as a dirt track in 1956, the first purpose-built racing circuit in New Zealand.
Prior to that, everybody had raced on airstrips and roads. It was also on the international circuit of cars, so we had some very, very famous drivers here, some very famous cars.
Among them, this 1954 Maserati, once raced by Chris Amon, now worth $2 million. Also, motorcycle racer Rod Coleman, now in his 70s, who enjoyed blazing a Kiwi trail on the International Grand Prix circuit.
I lived in five-star hotels all the time with the factory paid, and paid all my expenses all year, paid all my flights, and I saw the world and didn't cost me a penny, plus I made a lot of money.
The old track closed in 1976, but seeing the cars again has spurred many a memory.
Remember the drums around the track? We had to keep the people back.
We used to go to them in motor races all the time, so it was good to come back and see the old cars again.
Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, nostalgia's a great thing. It keeps you going, I'm sure.
And that's a view that will be shared by many of the 8,000 people who visited the show over the weekend. Leanne Duncan, 3 News.
Well, that's all from the 3 News team for Sunday, the 22nd of August. Join Carol and John tomorrow night at 6. I'm Hilary Barry. Good evening.
Looking out from this silent place, a ray of light to darkest space. Lift up your eyes, slowly